back corner of the house right there is basically rotten. And I think it's all because all the water would hit that electrical panel and just run down, and it has rotted over the years. So we'll see. Gonna do a little more demo, find out where the mess is. So this is at the top of the porch, and this is what it all looks like now. You know, that's not solid, but I think this is where it kind of starts. I would be surprised if it gets too much further up than that. And then it just goes down. It gets worse as it goes. This is where the meter was, so water was getting all down in here. This is where it gets really bad. And then down in there is the Sill. It's just a huge beam. And it's not, if you bang on it, it's gonna fall apart. So, but that's the way the electrical is now. So it's been raining all day and for several hours, and this is not wet at all. And I haven't even tried to cover it, and none of it's wet. So I think I was right. I think it was all getting wet from right here. Maybe the house won't fall down before we can get it fixed. Ah, the kitchen. It's gonna need a little remodeling. Oh, what's that? Oh, it also needs a wall. Yeah, that's the kitchen wall. You can just see dead on outside. It's gonna need a little work. Gaspar is helping me get this buttoned up. He's already worked on it a little bit, as you can see, but we don't know how far to go this way. So I'm gonna take some of this siding off and see how extensive the damage is, because I don't think he wants to rip my house up. Based on what I was understanding, he is not comfortable ripping all that off. I sure as hell am. Get her done. We have a plan. They're taping it up for the night, but we know what we're doing. Sistering some 2x4s on, and then we'll probably put 4 or 5 2x4s into the wall. Gaspar knows what the hell's he's doing. So we got the outside demoed off. I pulled enough of the side of the house off that we could see what's damaged, what's not damaged, and Gaspar came up with a plan. So I'm gonna pull the rest. We buttoned it up outside because it's gonna sprinkle tonight. And then tomorrow morning before he gets here, I'm gonna demo off the rest outside so that he can do what he needs to do out there. And then what I'm about to do now is I'm gonna go ahead and open up the rest of this wall. We had all this open for the electrical. That's where we found this problem. So this used to be the back side of the house. So those are like, I guess, old cedar planks maybe. There's this inside stud, and then it goes out to there. That stud out there is a mess. This stud's good, I'm positive. Before I even open the wall up, I know it's good. But I'm gonna open the wall up to here so he can sister onto that stud and then replace that stud, which is at the corner of the back of the old house. There's actually 2 big studs there. And then there was some outside casing, but we're not worried about that. So I got to go all the way to the floor and just pull this drywall off and then go up to the ceiling. A lot of this has already been ripped out because I did it while I was in here the other day. And I knew it was a mess because when I was ripping this drywall out, all here, all this, it was all wet. You can see right there, that has some mold on it where it used to get wet. But not horrible. For a 130-year-old house, that was the only water damage we had, and it was because they put the panel on the outside of the house and a little piece of tin at the top to keep the panel dry underneath the porch. It was shedding the water off slowly down this wall, and over, I don't know when they put the panel in, 40, 50, 60 years ago maybe? I mean, who knows? So water's been getting in that wall for, let's say, 50 years. So it had done a little damage. It wasn't horrible. Button this up. They've been under the house all week. They've put foundation piers in, and Gaspar told me today that everything looked fine. He said this is the only place in the whole house that they've seen anything remotely damaged, and he's not even really worried about this because it's such a small area, it just doesn't matter. But we're gonna button it up anyway, getting it cleaned, getting it ticked and tied. We're gonna tick it and tie it, as they say. All the moldy drywall is off the wall. The next is I'll cut those boards out, but I need a circular saw to do that, and I don't have one, so I gotta go get one. That'll be tomorrow morning's project before he gets here. And then I gotta finish my demo on the outside of this wall for him, and then we should be good to go. House will be buttoned back up. All right. All right, I demoed out the rest of this wall so that we could get board back on there. And then I demoed off the outside over. And this is soft, soft, soft. So you can see there's 2x4s there. Trim. But then, that's hard. And that's hard. So I think we can mess with this corner if we need to. I'm gonna give this a whirl. I'm gonna see if I can cut this out with this oscillating tool. I think that's what I need to do. I also bought a circular saw, so I can use a circular saw, but I'm gonna start with this because it's a little smaller and I think it'll get the job done. And I don't wanna be ripping into this wall any further than I have to. It worked pretty good. Now I'm gonna switch blades. This one's got a side cutting blade on it. So try this. I just found my stud right here, which is what I'm trying to open up. So I think I'm just gonna keep going with this one because it seems to be fine. And now that I know where everything's at, I'm probably gonna rip it with a just a regular old Sawzall. One more. So you can kind of see the ceiling goes way up, and I'm right here. Good. That's good. That's good. And it only gets bad down here at the bottom. The seal, once you get there, it's great. And only, you know, it's supposed to go out to the edge of the house, which is probably about to the end where I had it there. So what's that, 6 inches? So about 6 inches is in pretty bad shape. So, but once you get that out, it gets solid way up here. And then there's another 2x4 on the other side of this one that's on the outside, which same deal. Kind of bad up to a point. So I'll just tear out. I'll get all this out, clean this up, and then we'll get Gaspar and see what he thinks. Do I want to be doing this? No. I absolutely do not want to do what I'm doing. But trying to find wood that is not rotten. Oh. And get that wood exposed so we can sister in some joist. We're just going to sister pressure treat it on top of everything. Once we hit hardwood, we'll sister onto it. So there's the electrical box. So it's out of my way, so I can just keep going up. This is the main house, and the ceiling goes, the joist, I guess the header that this stud connects to is way above this wall. I'm not even sure we need to go that far because if we're just sistering, we're just going to attach to these 2x4s. So I'm going to stop there. This is the load-bearing wall, so the roof's carried right here. So I think if we can just reinforce this, I think we'll be fine. That's really solid, so that's good. So let me get this cleaned up where he can work. Gaspar, he told me my demo was good and that he liked what I did. I could tell he's kind of wanting to extend an offer to join his team. And I mean, I'd have to consider it. I think I've got what it takes to join Gaspar and do foundation work on houses. for the rest of my life. This could be the last video I ever make because I might literally just be joining a work camp from this point on. So if I never see you again, I either joined the work camp with Gaspar or the house fell down on me because I've torn it all to pieces and it literally collapsed and I died. We'll see. One or the other. So I did not film Gaspar actually fixing everything, but I'll just wrap everything up here. This is kind of what we were dealing with on the beginning. So when the electricians left, we had our electrical panel moved to the inside, and you can kind of see how they left it. They buttoned up the outside roughly. And when I say roughly, I mean roughly like you could still see through the house to the outside. So we assessed the situation with Gaspar and his team, and we got the thing covered up so that the rain wouldn't get in it while they were working. I got everything demoed on the outside of the house. I had to pull the siding off. I had to pull the old sheathing from the original house off and get all the electrical panel that the electricians had installed removed. And then I went inside and I got the drywall ripped off the wall, and I opened up the inside wall where we could get to the joist that we needed to get to be able to sister them. While I was doing that, Gaspar was down in the Sill cutting out the rotten wood that was in the Sill to get us back to hardwood in the Sill, where he could then sister some pressure-treated lumber back in to make sure the Sill was all buttoned up. Once he got the Sill in good shape, he came in after I had demoed out on both sides. He came in and sistered some pressure-treated 2x4s into the existing studs, and that, put the corner back together. After he left, then I started to put things back together. I tried to get it watertight, airtight, and I'm working on getting the siding replaced now. So I'm trying my hand at vinyl siding because our house is covered in vinyl siding, and I had to rip a lot of it off when we were doing the electrical work. So I've just got this plastic bag on the side of the house now, and I tried to find somebody to come fix it, and I haven't really had any luck. So I just started researching, can I do it myself while I'm waiting for someone else to come show up, and I've decided I can just fix it myself. So I bought all the flashing and stuff, and I joked with the hardwood floor guy that I would make 11 trips to Lowe's today. And so far I'm about to take my third trip to Lowe's, and I still haven't even started. But I've assessed the situation. I know how high up now I need to go, and I just realized that I didn't buy any plywood to put on the wall back there. So that's literally the first step, is to put plywood on the wall. Didn't have it on my list, but I got the house wrap and I got pretty much all the trim pieces I need, and I've got a sample of the actual siding that I need to find, and I'm just gonna buy a box of that. One box should be plenty. So trip number 3 to Lowe's, and then it'll be dark and I'll get to do all this tomorrow. Tyvek wrap. It's my first time ever in my whole life putting on Tyvek wrap. I tried to do it to get ahead of the rain that's coming in because I wanted this to be buttoned up. So now all I have to do is source my siding and then install the siding, which honestly should be the easier. No, I don't think it's gonna be easy, but it should be a little easier than all that because at least I'm watertight and airtight now. We'll see. This was not fun, and I wish I'd never done it.